this is a super quick, smushed crash course in making a web page. All right. So let's take a look at this code that's already in here for me. I'm going to go ahead and delete this script part because we're not going to use that right now. In a web page, there's some stuff at the top. This tells the browser, which is like Chrome or Internet Explorer, whatever, that this file is an HTML document. And then when I look in my file, these things that are inside brackets are called tags. Almost all of them have a starting and an ending one. The way that you can tell the ending one is it has a / and then it repeats the same name as the tag again. Okay? And then our entire page gets surrounded with the tag HTML. And then there are two parts to the page, the head and the body. And you'll remember the order because it's the same order top down as your head and body, right? The head is information about the page that doesn't display on the page itself in this white area. The stuff in the body will display on the page itself, okay? So what it's given us right here is it's telling us that the font we're using is this character set. This is some information about how to figure out what the device width is. We're not going to talk about that right now. We'll learn about that in this class, actually. Whatever you put in this spot right here is what appears up here in this bar when you open this web page in its own thing. So let's prove that to you. Demo of web page. I'm going to run this. This guy doesn't actually have a bar to show you, so I'm going to pop it out so you can see it. Come on. I wonder if it wants me to put something on the page first. Let's see. This is going to behave badly while I'm recording. You're going to have to trust me that that text would appear right here. Yeah, something's weird. Okay. Anyway, this right here, link href to style sheet, is a link to this file, which is where I can put rules for how to style my page. And we'll talk about that in a moment. Okay. Inside my body, you'll notice I wrote text, it appeared over here, but we generally don't want to have text that's naked, so it's not surrounded by tags. We want to surround it by tags. So let's look at some tags. So the first thing is to think of your web page as sort of like an outline. So if you made an outline, you'd have like first level headings, second level headings, information that goes with them, etc. And so to do headings, the tags are H1 through H6, and H1 means most important, H6 means least important, and the general rule is that you don't skip numbers, and you would not see a 2 if you hadn't already had a 1. So it really is working like an outline. So I'm going to use an H1 and call this, let's give it a title, my page. All right, so it will put a most important heading here, and then I can put subsection headings in H2s, so let's call this like pets. All right. Okay. If I want to, I can write some text that's not a heading, and that could be a paragraph. So it could be a P tag. So I have 2 dogs, and I will close my tag, and I will look, and it will put my text right here. Okay. Maybe I want to bold a part of this. I can surround this with strong tags to do that, or B tags. Okay. I can also put a link. So let's see. Let's do an H2. Favorite websites. All right, let's do this. P. I'm going to put Google here. Okay. You probably noticed on websites there's stuff that's clickable. To make something clickable, you put an A tag around it. So A href equals. I'm going to put quotes here. I'm not going to fill them in yet. I'm going to close this tag. I'm going to go grab the URL for Google. Grab that. And I'm going to put that in the quotes. And this tells, when I click this text, this is where it's going to. So here, I'm going to run this, click that. It's going to Google. I don't think Replit will go outside of itself. It's trying to protect me, but that's okay. So we'll just stay here and trust it worked. All right. If I want to put an image on a page, I recommend you make a folder for your images, and then you can upload a picture. Find a good picture here. How about Cookie Monster? Awesome. I'm gonna put him. Oh no, he's a weird kind of picture. That's not gonna work. Delete that. I need a JPEG or a PNG or something like that. Let's see, what do I got? Let's just do this little AOIT thing. I'm gonna stick this in this folder. To put an image on the page, you go to where you'd want to have it, and the tag is IMG for image, SRC is for source, and then I need to give the path. So because I made this folder, my path starts with IMG, and then I'll put my file name, which is aoit.png. All of this is case sensitive. This is a special tag. It doesn't have a second tag that goes with it, so I self-close it. So I put a slash and an ending thing, and there's my picture appearing. Okay. If I wanted my picture to be a link to a different page, then I could surround it with A tags, and the picture itself will become a link. So let me grab aoit.org, grab that. Put that address right here. And now this picture is clickable, which you can see it turns to a finger when I hover over it, right? All right, and the last thing on our list that you need to know is what a div is. So if I want to sort of separate these as sections of the page, I can surround them with divs. So I'm gonna just put one here, and I'm gonna put the closing one here. So now all this stuff that has to do with pets belongs to one div, and then I'm going to put the stuff that has to do with websites in another div. And I'm just indenting these so I can more easily see visually what they belong to. You'll notice when you give surrounding tags, it'll let you collapse them so you can have more on the screen and not have to look at all your text. Okay. Now that won't make it look any different yet. Until we start adding style. Okay, so I'm going to mess with some colors. Let's see how you set a page background color. So I'm going to go in my style sheet, and I'm going to say, well, everything on my page is inside these body tags. In fact, let me get this guy's indented so it's more obvious. And I'm going to go in here, and these things are called CSS selectors, and really what they are most often is just tags that are on your page. So I'm going to say body. Whoops, hit my cap lock. And I am going to set a background color. So let's go like this. And it's going to offer me the color constants. If you don't like what you've got on this list, you can look up a color picker, and you can slide this wherever you want, get whatever color background you want. Let's go with like a light green. And then this is the code I want, the hex code, and I want that hashtag as well. So I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to set it, and I'm going to end my rule with a semicolon, and run, and now my page is light green, okay? If I want, instead of a color, a picture, I need to get an image. So let's get a, let's see, background. Actually, I have one of those. Let me see here. I think I have one. Let me upload it. Upload file. Yep, I got this thing. Let's put this in here. All right. So with background image, you want to do like this, the word URL, and then you want to put your file name in here. So it's still in the image folder, and this thing's called bokeh.jpeg. All right. Run. And so by default, it will tile your background. Okay. If you don't want it to do that, then you can do background size, and you can say like stretch or fit. Here, let's check. Nope. Oh. Sorry, background size cover. We'll stretch the picture to cover what you've got. It'll only stretch it so far so it doesn't get out of proportion. All right, what else is on our list? Changing the divs. So let's style the divs to be different. So let's div the divs a background color. Let's just use one of these, Alice Blue. And then you'll see where they are. So this is a div and this is a div. Okay. I can give them a border. If you want to give something a border, which is like an outline around this box, there are 4 pieces of information it needs. It needs a color. Let's go white. It needs a thickness. Let's go 5 pixels. And it needs a style. So you got like solid, dotted, dashed. I'm going to go with solid. Now these guys have borders around them. If I don't like this text so smushed up against the edge, I can give this div padding. I'm going to say pad yourself 2%. And it will push the text in a little bit. Okay. If I want to change the color of my text, like this guy's kind of dark on this background, I can select that tag, and to change the font color, it's the word color. And that'll change to white. Okay. Another thing on our list is border radius. So I have borders on these divs, so let's give them a border radius. That will round the edges. So let's go 10 pixels and see what that looks like. Yeah, now my edges are curved. All right, let's see. Float. Float makes things sit next to each other, but I need to make sure their widths are small. So let's set these widths to 40% so they don't take up the whole page. And then I can tell them to float. And what should happen is that one rises up next to the other. Yes, indeed. Okay. So this float left means that this thing is assigned to float to the left-hand side of anything that's listed after it, and this guy floats up next to it. All right, and font family. Let's just do this to the whole thing. You can choose any font that the person might have installed. We can talk about how you get fonts that aren't installed on a person's computer, but let's just choose one of these. I'm going to go with this one. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, and the reason it gives a list of these is it tries them. It says if this is on the computer, use it. If not, move on down the list to this one. If this isn't on the computer, move on down the list to this one, etc. So that is a really, really quick demo of just how you get some basic stuff on the page.